Hey guys, this is Ress and Nique, and this is She Wolf Alchemy. And today we're talking about long distance relationships. So, me and Nique have both done long distance relationships before. Nique is a pro. That is your preferred method. I
Yes.
I think I think the older I get, the more I like it. But I think it definitely wasn't a preference when I was younger. It definitely wasn't a preference when I was younger, but I did it. I definitely dated when I was younger. So today we're talking about long distance. It's definitely not meant for the weak or the avoidant or the chronically unserious, but I think it can be a cheat code for people who feel boxed in by their local dating pool and feeling like I keep running into the same like emotional furniture in different bodies again and again. So in this episode, we're going to explore when long distance is a blessing and when it is self-harm with FaceTiming, and to know which one you are actually doing.
I'm laughing at self-harm with FaceTime.
Look, well, because though, like, I think we all, if you haven't been that person, somebody who you're like, you're not built for this. Why are you doing this? Like, why are you doing this? Like, you are used to people that you see 4 times a week. I can't, I mean, I can't, so I've had partners I've lived with, so I can't say I can't do it. But like, I know sometimes when I talk to people and they're like, yeah, we see each other like 5 times a week. I'm like, why? like, oh my gosh, it feels like so much.
I will say my dating pattern has always been long distance for like so long. As I got older, I was like, I kind of would want to be around somebody, but like you were saying, like it kind of freaks me out too to have to see him every day. And I started to question myself, like, why do you like long distance so much? Are you just avoiding something? But for me, I just like my peace and I like the excitement of getting ready to do it. So I'm with you where it's like some people say they see their mate like 5 times a week. I'm like, I don't know if I really don't like these people, but I don't like to see them often. So, I don't want to do that over and over and over for some reason. It could be that I just got so attached to the long distance thing where I just build up that momentum to see them, and that's just how I like it. So yeah, I definitely question myself. Like, can you do this everyday thing? Because when I'm there with the person, we're doing our spills. Sometimes it could be like it's probably only been up to like 3 or 4 days. In those 3 or 4 days, I'm happy because I know I have to leave. Um,
Yeah.
but I just don't know if it's like an everyday thing. I kind of question myself about that sometimes. I do.
Well, but here's the thing. I think both of us, I do believe we are able to do that.
Yeah.
I think it's been like me. I love being alone. So I think that's a big part of it. But like one of the things I realized, like, so me and you travel a lot together, usually throughout the year. If we're traveling, at least two or three of the times is with each other, usually.
Mhm.
And, like, I think it's a matter of just finding people that allow you to be you. Because me and you, both of us have talked about this, like, both of us are like, we can't travel with just anybody. And one of the things I love about traveling with you is, like, both of us will, like, come in after spending a whole day together and then not talk to each other for the rest of the night. Like, we'll be in the same house, but, like, both of us is like, "This was enough." And then we'll just, like, both we'll be watching TV in the same room, just not talking, or, like, I'll go like recently, we took my daughter to Gatlinburg for her birthday. Meek and her baby girls there. But like we were like at nighttime, we let the girls go upstairs, and then we were both sitting on the couch doing our own separate things. And then talk to like 10 a.m. the next day. And I loved it. I was like, I love that she is not about to bombard me with a whole bunch of conversation.
Oh, no, it's like a debrief, and everybody does not get that. And it's always good when we travel together because, like, I need my debrief after a long day, but when it's just me and my child, she doesn't allow me to have it. So it's good
Yeah.
to interact with yours, and you can lay on your couch, I can lay on mine. I could fall asleep. I'm falling asleep somewhere up in there, and it's
Look,
okay.
look,
It's okay.
one of the rules with traveling with Neek is scheduling her nap time. Cause Neek will nap. Neek don't care what we got planned. Neek will be like, it's 4 o'clock and I have not had a nap. I don't I don't know what y'all think we're doing, but I'm going back. to the Airbnb app. But I think it's just like that. Like, just like
Yeah.
you can find soulmate in friends, you can find your romantic partners, like
Mhm.
having somebody that understands that and gets that. And I have dated people, but I think something that scared me last year is like last year I had a person in my life, right? But they're in my life for like a little over a year. Every 3 months I had to tell this person I needed a break. Every 3 months, and not even like a break, like a like, hey, but every 3 months I had to tell this person like, hey, if you could give me like 4 days or so, we're like, I'm fine, we're fine. Please leave me alone. Please do not pop up at my house. Please, please, please don't call me. Please, I need a mental break. I need a break. I need to just do stuff. But yeah, every 3 months, and it made me think about that. Like, yo, are you going to be able to? Will you be able to get back into the saddle of doing this?
Yeah, but I think I could.
So much for me. That felt so much for me, like very intensely. Like, oh my gosh, I miss being by myself.
But I think so too, like, and I have to tell myself, like, you might not, that just might not be the person. It doesn't have anything to do with you being overwhelmed. You just might not be that person. Because some people honestly and truly calm my nervous system. Some people hide it. And some people I have to put on, like
Yeah,
put on my personality. And other people I can just chill. So it definitely depends. And it definitely could, I just think it has to be the right person. Or I'm gonna be like, if I need too much space, baby, it's just not it. Because you
yeah.
gotta understand that too.
No,
You gotta
you're
understand that
right.
too.
You're right.
So
You're right.
yeah.
Well, so okay, let's talk about the reputation problem when it comes
Hmm.
to long distance dating because I feel like long distance dating has such a bad PR rep. Like people hear long distance and I feel like they immediately think about, oh, but don't you get lonely? Or like, oh, so like you gotta pay like $500 for a flight every time you want to go see them, and then okay, yeah, I might have to get a hotel or you have to wait. It's not like you can like just pop through. Or and there's other people who say like it just feels like being an emotional pen pal with somebody, right? But that's to look at it that way is to assume that everybody dates for proximity instead of compatibility. Like proximity is good and convenient. And there's nothing wrong with that. Again, I have been in relationships where like I love seeing my person. I love that. I also love my breaks. But like it was good to be like, I miss you. And they be like, give me 30 minutes. Love that. But for some people, like that's just not as big of a deal. Like, can we hold a conversation when I see you? Is it amazing, magical? Actually, does the space actually work better for us?
Hmm. And I think it's just, I guess, being honest about it too.
Yeah.
So, like with me, you were saying like just dating in proximity. I can't date in my proximity.
You can't. You can't. I've been telling you for years. For years. I'm like, girl, your husband's not in Dayton, Ohio. Or your husband is not in Dayton, Ohio. He's just not. He's not.
Yeah, because it's just like I don't know. It's like I don't have the options in my proximity, which I would probably prefer. Um, and it might be easier, but I'm always about like what makes me feel good, and I don't like to force it just because you right next you down the street. I
Yeah.
can't force this.
Yeah.
I'm sitting there like, don't be irritated. So yeah. And I think a lot of people, and I think it just gets, like you said, bad PR. Like even on TikTok, I see like people talking about this is a relationship. A lot of people in the comments like, you gotta be very desperate to be in a long distance relationship. I'm like, how's that desperation? Like, if you're on the same page, how's that desperation? I think people just like, it's definitely a bad PR. It's definitely like bad that surrounds it. It definitely coming up. I was like dating long distance, and then like the ex was like, "That's not a real relationship." Anyways, you know he was hating. I would not. But I'm just
Yeah.
like, this is a real relationship. We love each other. It's not all about just because this person is here. It's not. It was never like that for me. It was about the connection I had with this person, regardless of the ones around me. This person is who I really wanted to be with.
Yeah. I definitely agree. I don't think it's a desperate plea. My thing is desperation is doing something that you don't want to do. You don't have the ability to do just to be with somebody. And
Hmm.
you can definitely do that with the person living next door.
Yes. Yeah. Yeah.
Well, so then what are the actual benefits of being in a long distance relationship?
You can actually, like, date the person and not just, like, go about a routine. When someone cannot like, when somebody can't slide through at 9 p.m. because they are bored, you actually learn how to communicate. Oh, you learn how to communicate. I think that's why I loved it so much. How to handle conflicts and whether they follow through with, like, the promises they made, like, and this is such a good point because when I have dated somebody long distance and then once they moved to the same city as me or whatever, it was like we talked so much more when they were in a different city. We communicated more. We had great conversations. We got to know each other on different levels. Then
Mm.
when they came back, I was like, I was like, we didn't even have no good conversations lately. We wouldn't be having those good conversations that we had before. It's just like so routine, and I don't like routines. I don't like the same routines over and over each day. That's just not me. I don't like it in work. I don't like it in anything. I don't
Yeah.
like it. It drives me crazy.
Yeah, I know it
Like
does.
oh my goodness. I like an easy job, but then when it becomes I have to do the same thing over and over, it just drives me crazy. And that's the same thing about like with dating when you say you can't just swing past 9 a.m. because I'm bored. I'm about to just come over there because I'm bored. It's like no planning. Whereas I think I always because quality time is my love language, and I was still getting that talking on the phone and getting to know each other. Like you got to know each other on so many different levels. Well, that was my experience with it. Like that's all we have. This our lifeline. So you got to learn them on so many different levels, rather than the people that was in the same space as me.
Yeah. It makes you have to put an effort.
Yeah.
Like, in order for like, I think sometimes what can happen, basically what you're describing, which is that sometimes when you are close by, like, dating feels lazy.
Yes.
Going back to what you were saying earlier about, like, the proximity thing, I am a quality over quantity person.
Mhm.
I'd rather see you once a week, but it was a really amazing good time. We had lots of laughs, convo. It's not even about spending money, like, but I really enjoyed being in your company. Like, we really talked. Had like real intimacy. We really like, dang, I walked away feeling on cloud nine. They seeing you 4 or 5 times a week, but like we don't really talk. We just sitting there next to each other. And I
Yeah.
get it. I've heard romance songs, I heard poems, just would it be in your presence? Yeah, okay, cool. But like I like the quality. I like the quality. And again, it's not to say we have to be doing something extravagant because sometimes it is quality. Sometimes maybe you're cuddled up and it just feels good to be in that person's arms or like you just being in a room makes me feel happy. And then some of the benefits too is like, again, it's not that performative dating, you know? We don't get stuck in, okay, every Friday night it's dinner, um, and then sex. It's dinner and then sex and dinner, then sex. I actually was writing back to somebody earlier today. This person wasn't long distance, but I was writing back to a comment that we got on our Instagram earlier today. And it was like one of the things had something about Valentine's Day. And we were talking about, like, things we prefer because the meme has something like, I asked her what she wanted from Valentine's Day, and she said curtains. And then he was just like, "Man, I hate being an adult." And so, like, the girls in the comments, they were, like, making comments and stuff about, like, the things they prefer. And I had comment back like, "Oh, actually, I realized, like, I'm an experienced person. I love gifts that are experiences."
Mhm.
I'm like, don't get me wrong, every now and then I like things, but I love an experience. And so me and one of the girls were commenting back and forth about that. And I had mentioned I had dated this guy that was an artist. And like one of my favorite things, one of the reasons I remember him so well is like he put so much effort into dates. He always gave very creative dates. I don't think me and this man ever did just dinner and a movie. Like, we've
Mhm.
seen movies after we went to the bookstore and we read books to each other. I read him my favorite author, he read me his favorite author, and then we went and walked in the park with smoothies, and we played a game where we sat on the bench and we created stories that about the people we were people watching. Like, it was never like just, "Oh, dinner and a movie, you trying to go get some hookah." Like, every time I went out with this man, every single time we went on a date, he made it a whole day date. Every time we went out, it was like completely new things I had never done with other people. And here's the thing too, because I think sometimes people hear that and they think like, y'all gold diggers, y'all want all this expensive stuff. The man took me to a bookstore and we read books together. He bought me a book that was like, he bought me a couple books. but still, it was still like maybe $30. Like, I
It's
didn't get
about
to movie, and when they had at the park, like now don't get me wrong, he did to me on some really nice things, but it's to say, like, it wasn't the money spent that's the emphasis, it was, like, the excitement of, like, something new,
mhm.
like, putting effort in. Also, putting effort that was based on my personality. You know, because sometimes dudes, they do grand things, and then you realize that's just what they do. Like, they do this thing for everybody they date. It's really nice when you're dating somebody and they're like, "No, I know she likes to read. I know she like arts. I know these things about her personality. I'm paying attention in our conversations. I'm gonna tailor this experience for you."
That it does make a difference. That it
Yeah,
definitely it does make a difference.
yeah,
Yeah.
I
Oh, yeah. I was just saying, like, I'm with you on, like, experiences, but I'm not really hard to please, 'cause I like us a quality time. Like, we can, like, have ice cream and walk down the street, and you can just tell me memories are different, just different fact you could just be telling me about your childhood growing up. I just like to talk and eat my ice cream and was just to the guys, not really.
know, I just wanna say, "You don't be doing that with females. We gonna work on
I
that."
don't know why. I don't know why. I just can't figure that out. I do like to like I remember it was a simple date. Like we had got food and then we got ice cream and then we talked about different things. And we just talked about the world. We just literally just talked. And I don't really know what we were talking about, but I just enjoyed the action of like just getting out there and just letting the day take us wherever it was gonna take us.
Yeah,
And you don't have to be so expensive. And I do think like sometimes, well, these all these things that I'm talking about were in my long distance.
yeah,
So it does make it more like, oh, next time she comes, I want to take her to this place. Or oh, next time he comes, I want to take her to this place. So it does bring more excitement, I believe,
yeah.
in the visits.
Yeah, I mean, you have to talk. You end up learning the person's values for real.
Mhm.
It can be very efficient in a way to get to know a person because you're not distracted so much by sex. Don't
Yes,
get me
yeah.
wrong, we're gonna talk about sex. Give us some time. We're gonna get to that
And
subject.
yeah. Well,
But I think it can be really, really great, especially if you're a person who you realize, like, dang, I end up in these relationships that I realize are like really meaningless. And it's like,
mhm.
y'all probably getting distracted by other stuff. Because here's the thing, it doesn't have to be sex. Sometimes it is the experience, and sometimes not. Because every time we're together, we're doing. Have y'all talked?
Yeah, yeah. Because I have definitely been in some situation where we just had experiences. And I'm
Mm.
thinking like, we never really just sat at home, cooked a meal, and chilled.
Yeah.
Whereas I can just in the me, I like experiences still, but I like a person that can give me space to have my quiet time and be okay with it. Cause I know I dated one person and we would just be sitting in the room. He could be working and I'm just like twiddling my thumbs watching a movie or something like that. We interact every now and then, but we are okay with this. Or
Yeah.
we can just be chilling out, having our drinks, having our smoke, whatever we doing, and it's still a vibe without doing much of anything. So yeah, it's just yeah. It's
Yeah.
different things for different people, but you definitely like when you started like when I used to like sit back and like analyze, I'm like, I need somebody I can do both with, not just one or the other. So
Yeah. And I think another big good one is like you get out of the dating echo chamber where it's like,
mhm.
I don't even want to date in my city because everybody has dated each other, especially when
Yeah,
you in those
yeah,
small cities.
yeah,
Long distance kind of help you expand your,
yeah.
your pool of like who you're dating.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
remember when I was in high school, a lot of times my boyfriends did not go to my school. I didn't really realize that.
And how did you do that in
I
high
was
school? I
dating at
don't
my
know.
school. You said what?
And how did you do that in high school? I do not know.
Girl, I do not know either. Oh, well, one had a friend who lived next to me, so he used to just his mom was just like, "You and him are real good for y'all got real good." He would just walk over to my house.
Yeah, yeah.
Look.
'Cause that's the thing too. Cause when you say it like
No.
he's like, I'm going back up at my friend's house. Yeah, next door. And back then, they would walk them out. They would walk even if you didn't live right next door.
Yeah.
Back then, they would walk them out.
Man,
Running
look,
back up.
y'all. I lived on this street. It was called Golf Hill Road. And it used to have this long, deep. like 2 hills you had to get to, like deep downhill up, and there was no sidewalk. So this man had to walk in the forest because there was like trees and woods on the side of the road against the road. So he was just walking around the trail in the
Yeah,
forest until
'cause
he got his car. Then when he got his car, I was sneaking out. We was going places. So
yes, yes, of
okay,
course.
grown. I'm grown. They can't whip me no more.
Yes, I guess, but we have to look out for these girls. That's why I always like, "Ooh, I was so sneaky. I'm so scared." But but I will say, like you were saying, like when you were in high school, that's how it was. But for me, I always went to Georgia. I went to Georgia since I was a kid,
Yeah.
but I didn't start like dating guys in Georgia until maybe 18 and up or 19 and up or something like that. So most of the guys I used to talk to was in Georgia. They was either my cousin's friends, friends of friends, or it's just somebody I met out and about. And even like to this day, when guys like it's easy for me not to get caught up in like the local city stuff, like, oh, you're not gonna find me getting caught up here. But I just don't. I will say, like being in a small city, it is harder because you was like, this person dated that person. It's just too messy, too much busyness. And it's just a lot of yeah, and it just gets you out of that circle and out of that rotation of the city folks. So
Yeah.
I definitely say I think that's why I like it. And the guys will always get a little jealous here, like, you really gotta go to a different state. I'm like, y'all just not, it's just not for me. It's not for me. And I think it's because even my parents, I'm a product of a long distance relationship.
Yeah.
I be forgetting that. I'm a freaking product of a long distance relationship. My mom lived in Dayton, my dad lived in Georgia. So it's just like, I like a little country. I like a little country. I like a little down home country man. I don't get that from here. So
But
I like what I like. Yeah.
no, your husband's definitely somewhere living in the South right now.
Yes. It don't have to be Georgia, but it's definitely a southern state.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah. Because the times you have talked to more yeah, the times you try to talk to, like, Chicago, New York dudes, you do not like them. You be like, "I don't
Y'all just
where
not
you gotta get
understanding.
more northern, like
Yes.
Norfolk
Yes.
coast works for me.
Uh-huh, uh-huh. I mean,
Yeah.
I did file for a New Yorker, but he didn't understand me like he needed to.
So, yeah, spiritually speaking, sometimes your partner is not late, they are literally geographically in another place.
For sure. For sure. But even though long distance can be fun, interesting, and exciting, sometimes it can become a trap.
For sure. I mean, there's definitely some things that I think people have to be aware of. It's not the magic cheat code. It's not the miserable last choice. It's, like dating locally, it has its positives and its negatives. And I think for long distance, some of the negatives is like you get to a point where like sometimes there starts to be this like no concrete plan for the next time y'all see each other.
Mhm.
And
Mhm.
it can be for a variety of reasons. Sometimes it's work. It's just I'm so busy. I have to take time off. It's such a long flight that like I'm not really trying to come in just for a weekend. If I stay, I need to be able to stay a long time. I got the PTO. Sometimes it can be like, yo, this is getting expensive. Let me get my money up. It can be all sorts of reasons, but one of the big ones where I say like, oh, this starts becoming an issue, you might want to reconsider if yeah, y'all don't really have concrete plans to see with each other because next thing you know, it's been 8 months and it's doable, but no one has done it. Then there can be kind of like vague future talk. Because for most of us, when we're dating, we want this to lead to somewhere, right? We want this to lead
Mhm.
to something more long term, more permanent, like living together, like getting married. And when you can be talking about things like that, but it's like, bro, we haven't even talked about like which one of us is willing to move and like around what time are we gonna make that frame? And if we move and it goes good, like, okay, how long going good do you feel comfortable before we start talking about like marriage and stuff? Like you can start talking about big things like, I'm gonna marry you, I'm gonna see him off, but like no one is actually setting concrete plans to get you there, which is like the typical things like moving in, the typical things like, okay, meeting each other's parents, maybe looking for jobs in your city, things like that.
I will say, for me personally, I have been in successful long distance relationship. I've been in 2. And then I have been in a lot of, I will just say situationships, in long distance. Because the ones that I did, was a good one. We had the foundation. Even though it didn't pan out that way, I didn't get there. One, I was supposed to graduate and we were supposed to get together. But we planned like once I graduate, we're gonna get married, we're gonna do what we need to do. The other one, once I get a job, I'm gonna move there. But life happened with that situation too. But the thing is, like, I think you have to understand, like, if nobody's talking about the future or nobody's talking about moving from place to place. This is not a relationship. This is just a fun summer vacation or a fun holiday, a fun holiday.
Yeah.
Like, it's not what it is. It's not like a true relationship. It's just something fun to do. It could be like how you say something fun to do when you're bored in the city. It could just be something fun to do
Mhm,
when you're bored and you want to go see that person.
mhm.
It really has to be a conversation had because I will say in the successful ones, we seen each other monthly and we both planned it. Either I come there, you come there. This is what we're going to do.
Yeah.
We set out the money to do it. We're coming up with a plan to come to the end. But then when it was like not so concrete, it was like, oh, I'm in the city. I want to see you.
Yeah.
Make time, make the plan, make time, be available. And they did, but it wasn't like successful. So it's like you really have to ask yourself, like, am I doing all the work? Or is he doing all the work? Is this really going somewhere? Or is it just something fun to do in the moment?
Yeah. I mean, I think that even that goes into that, like, it starts feeling, like, emotionally intense, but, like,
Mhm.
logistically avoidant. So it's like, yeah,
Mhm.
we have these great conversations, and he calls me every night, "That's my boo bear," and he be tagging me on Instagram. Like, okay, but then when you start asking, like, "Hey, so, like, would you move here? Like, it's a great city, they got a lot of companies that you could that's in your field," and they're like, "Yeah, I mean,
Mhm.
one day, baby, let's when the economy better, we gonna talk about it." Like, okay, are they just giving you the emotional intensity, but avoiding the logistics?
Yeah.
Because to me, that's a big telltale of if this is gonna work. And I will say this, especially to my women, because a lot of times we are the ones that move. Usually the men stay wherever they are, and we are the ones that move. Um, do not move for no man that's not who's being logistically avoided. Because I have seen this happen where the man's not really making movement, the man's not really doing anything. And so the girl's like, I'll do it then. I'll move there. And then they're like, okay, well, I'm looking for jobs there. And da da da. And if he is not showing you effort or telling you when you get there, one, I've seen it happen. You get there, and that man was like, oh, and it almost immediately falls apart because he was not planning for you to move there. Or
Mhm.
the second thing is, like, you get there and then they're still not putting effort in a relationship. And now you sitting there thinking, like, I just moved my entire life for this man. And I've been with him for 3 years and he hasn't put a ring on a finger. Now I gotta give this man an ultimatum. You deserve better than that.
And then sometimes it's like, have y'all even really, it's sad to say, but have y'all even really established a relationship before you even move there? You just like, oh, okay, that'll work. But you have y'all established anything, you know what I mean? So it's really something that you gotta be up in front and honest with yourself when going through the
Yeah.
long distance, relationships. And I would say too, like it was like a time was arguing with the person I was in a long distance. I was like, "But I see you all the time. You see me." He was like, "But we never." He had to check me on it. But it was like,
Mhm.
we never planned nothing. It was just like I was in your city, you were in mine, so we made sure we seen each other. We made sure we did stuff. But it wasn't ever like, let's plan to do this. We never really gave it a try. And I would say since I've been older, since my late fiance, is like I didn't really date the same way long distance as I did when I was younger, where we
Yeah.
had the plan, we knew what we were doing. I was just always going with the flow. Then I
Yeah.
look back like, what the hell were you doing?
Yeah.
Now I'm like, oh, not an old lady, but I'm older, and I'm like, what were you doing, sis? So I say, ask yourself, what are we doing, sis? Earlier in the
Yes.
game.
And don't allow "we'll see" to be a lifestyle.
No, that's not the answer ever, ever.
Yeah. If you're gonna do long distance, it needs to feel very intentional.
Hmm.
You
So
know
if you cannot tell someone when you will see them again, you are not dating. You're just a glorified pen pal.
yes, ma'am.
So let's talk about how we can actually meet a long distance partner without being worried about it. It's a
This is
healthy
her
way.
area of expertise. The way
See, I
the
just leave
way
mine
we
out and
will just,
about.
like, go to the mall and Nick will find a man who is not from wherever she is from.
Yes, this is how I meet all my long distance. It is always from vacations. Imma be honest. It's always from vacations. Um, and then sometimes, I mean, I'm just always in, and that's the reason it's probably Georgia too, because I'm just always in Georgia a lot,
Mhm,
for family and friends. But before you, it was always family.
mhm.
So yeah, it just happens. But some ways to do it is dating apps with intentional location, the inspections. So if like, oh, I would like to meet somebody in Cali, or I would like to meet, because these are places you may consider yourself moving one day. Don't just throw them out there. I would like to meet someone in Cali, or I'd like to meet someone in Jersey, or different places, and spend your horizons on your dating apps so that you can get a chance to actually meet them. And then you find a match, you guys can plan it. Travel connections that continue after the trip. Like we were saying, I met most of my relatives on travel. Jamaica once time. And I just keep in touch. That's the thing. I just keep in touch after. A lot of people don't keep in touch, but I definitely keep in touch. And the thing is, we just be talking. So then I'm like, well, I want to see you now. And so that's how it happens. So that is a way to do it. Oh yeah, online communities tied to share values, and even though they're not in your city, if you like get to talking about things you both desire or you both are interested in, you can definitely try to do that long distance relationship. Did you want to
And
say something?
yeah, and I've definitely done this. I have definitely met people, whether it be like Instagram, TikTok, not TikTok, usually Instagram, or back in the day, MySpace, where you just are online, you're talking, you're giving your opinion on stuff. People like all your videos, slide in your DM.
Mhm.
I'm not against the DM slide. I'm not against a dude. If you're interested, I am against the like. I have made it very clear, like I don't want this. Please stop sliding my DM. Do not harass people into relationships with you. But I'm pro DM slide.
Mhm. And that's the thing too, because I never really had luck on dating apps. I don't even know a person I can name that I met on a dating app that I actually dated. But I definitely have met some guys and went on a date from DMs
Yeah.
on Instagram. Sometimes I'd be like, wonder like, how do we get here? But you're kind of cute, so we have good conversation. You sing good memes, so we can meet up for dinner.
Yeah. So,
So
and
yeah.
even going back to what you're talking about with travel connections, sometimes that might be it. Like it might just be where you are. You are buying,
Mhm.
you are tea, you are just tea in the wrong China shop. Like again, Neek says all the time, she like, I be in Ohio. She like, nah, it don't really be like that. But when Neek touched down in Georgia, men flock to her. Men
Yes.
flock to her.
Transforming.
I yeah, and sometimes women. Women, everybody. Human beings flock to her. People with hearts and lungs flock to her. I do okay in Georgia, but like I have noticed when I went other places, I did a lot better. I did great in Houston. I
That's
did,
what I was. Mhm.
yeah, like Houston, New York. I do amazing. DC, Houston, New York, DC. I did
Mhm.
great in those areas. So sometimes it's just like knowing your audience, knowing
That
where
is true.
you are appreciated. I
Mhm.
where you live.
Yeah, yeah, and being open to the change for love, because there's literally nothing wrong with it. There's literally nothing wrong with it.
Yeah.
But some unhealthy ways to get into long distance relationship is trauma bonding in the DMs. Some DMs can be healthy, but we have to figure out what is trauma bonding and what is like, ah, we're both going through this, so let's bond over it. Yeah, yeah,
Yeah, and also, like, assuming chemistry equals compatibility, and what this means is, like, yeah, y'all met at the club, and while you were out of town, and y'all have fun, and y'all danced up loudly on each other, and you, like, thinking about that all night, like, "Oh, yes, yes, yes," and you holding on to that, but, like, again, just like dating at other times, keep in the reality of it, like, yeah, but, like, what y'all conversations like since you left that vacation? Like, yeah, the chemistry was amazing and so tense, but like he does not believe in vaccinations. Y'all both want kids. Like, is there compatibility there? And then also I would say, like, don't fall for potential and not proof. This is for like my 90-day fiance folks. I recently got into 90-day fiance. Now, I don't watch the show. I watch it on TikToks because I have ADHD. My attention span is shot. But like, I think about this all the time. There is so many people I've seen, different seasons I've seen over the last couple months, where they're like, no, she's a good guy. He just doesn't have the opportunities. But if I bring him to America, and it's like, baby, he don't even try to work there. It's, he don't even, every time he needs something, he just asks you for money. He don't even try to work there. Why do you assume he'll work here? Why do you assume he don't even like, he's not good at communication there?
Mhm.
If y'all don't talk about sex, he figures out a way to hang up the phone there. What do you mean? All he's trying to do is humble you when he gets here. Yeah, like he showed you, he was only talking about like, don't fall for potential because you're like, yeah, but I think it's the distance. But if we were close, then and so we just gotta make it work. And so then don't fall for potential if there's no proof.
Mhm. I agree. I agree. 'Cause I think we get in like La La Land sometimes. I mean, I have been there, and
Same.
then I have like told you like, well, when I get there, I'm gonna talk about it. Yeah, and every time you ask me, I ain't talk about nothing, or maybe I did and just went in too hard and didn't give them a chance to talk. It's either
That's
one or
it.
the other.
You always talk about it, just never in the way that me and you plan. We go over the full play like, hey, sis, I think you should do it with a clear mind. You guys have time. You're sitting alone, and you let him know like, hey, there is going to be a conversation. He doesn't feel caught off guard, and you always go like, yeah, yeah, yeah. Then I get a call like, so we went drinking, and I thought that was the perfect time.
Oh my goodness, I remember because it's always like he looked at me like, "We're in the club. Let's leave if we're gonna talk about that."
Be honest with you, I don't even know which time we're talking about because this has happened more than once. Me, you you telling me like there's one particular story. This has happened more than once. I don't even know which story you're talking about right now.
No comment.
Oh gosh. Yeah.
Yes, but don't fantasize it and without talking through it, and don't be a la la land. Let's talk about it. Let's talk about it.
Yeah. So, okay, before you like, okay, girls, I'm feeling open. Maybe I do need a long distance date. Let's slow your roll and make sure you have the personality to long distance date. And this is gonna require you to be honest with yourself, like real honest with yourself. Um, Now, I think you are more likely going to be a person that does well with long distance if you are a person who's emotionally expressive. Meaning you know how to communicate your feelings. You know how to have hard conversations. You are a person who like values your space and your independence. You're a person who is like, no, actually, I like doing things alone. It's okay. I don't need a partner to get out the house. I will get out the house all by myself, or I like to stay in the house by myself. You aren't a person who needs constant physical reassurance. For some people, I think if you're a person who that your love language is physical touch, this is harder for y'all because words of affirmation on the phone, you can do that long distance. You can't do physical touch long distance.
Mhm.
You know,
Yeah. Mhm.
even the what's the acts of service, you can still do that long distance. I have had partners who I have been like, yo, let me send you some, I'm gonna DoorDash you some, like, you can do some of those, but you can't really do physical touch. And then
That is
yes, and then I think also if you're a person who knows that you can self-regulate when you are missing a person, it does not make you anxious on a regular basis. It's okay if there's a little bit of that, but like it does not cause you to spiral. You could be a good candidate for this. But not so much if you are a person, again, who needs constant physical touch. You spiral if you don't have immediate reassurance. You resent planning. You think love is equated with availability, or you already struggle with feeling abandoned in relationships where you already see that person like two, three times a week. Not,
mhm.
it's not saying that like you absolutely can't do this, but it's saying I do think if you have those things, it's probably going to be a struggle. And I would really consider if that struggle is something that is worth the effort.
It for you. Yeah, I would agree. I think it works so well for me when it does, because my love language is act of service. Like, send me some food for me and my child. I'm happy. Or take something off of my
I can't, you know what? I can't say anything because there was a person who I kept telling, like, "Hey, I need a break. Please just give me a couple of days. I need some time to myself. Please give me a couple of days." And they would just pop over with a big thing of groceries and be like, "Hey, I'm about to cook." I'm like, "All right, I guess."
That's what I'm saying. Like,
And I'm about to truck it
okay,
over. Like,
yeah,
all right, you're slick.
or
You're
yes.
sugary. But I'm gonna let you in.
Yes, or we could just talk on the phone and I'm good, or FaceTime and I'm good until we come to the next point. And I'm not my love language isn't really big on touch. So it's just like I don't really miss that as much. And I do get happy, like, oh, I get to cuddle, I get to do all of those things when I come down there and see you and do all those things. But I'm not really that big, it's not really high on my priority list. So it's like long distance works so well for me because I can self-regulate by myself. I like being by myself. I like to have my partner too, but I'm okay with the moments of being by myself as well. So it really works for me, but then it's just like asking yourself, does it work for that person and not forcing it?
Yeah.
Because it worked for me. But if somebody tells you like, I really like you, but it doesn't work for me, and you see that it don't work for that person, yeah, that's something there too. Like, just ask because I have people that know for a fact. Like, I had a cousin, I had guy friends. Like long distance is just not for me. It's something that I can't do. I don't want to do, and you got to be honest with yourself because you could really, really love a person, but if you're not really willing to do that move, like quick, or
Mhm.
trying to figure it out quick, it's just like if you know your heart of hearts is not for you. I don't suggest trying because it's just not going to work for one person or the other.
No, I agree with that. And I think it's very important that you brought that up because while we talk about you, both of y'all got to be on the same accord.
Hmm.
I had definitely dated somebody where I didn't realize they were out of town when we first met. I did not realize. Like they kept saying the state, but I was just like, oh, that's where they from. That's where their people still are. Did not register to me for a couple of days. They're like, "Oh, they don't live here." And like they told me, like, "Yo, I can't do long distance. Like, I really like you. I enjoy your time. I enjoy your company. I actually still want to get to know you, but like I know I can't do long distance." So I was like, "Cool, we're gonna be friends. We can be cool." And that worked. Like you can actually just decide at that point. Like, you don't have to torture yourself.
You don't. 'Cause you can say niggas be lying, but we be in la la land because I mean, I was told the same thing and I took it how I wanted to take it. And I still was like, okay. But I still was like, when we gotta be in a relationship, and he like, bruh, I told you I can't do
Look,
long distance.
the way I love a good Pisces, because y'all be like, uh-huh, Imma change his mind though, and I'm like, "Alright, well, the way y'all are good for like, I don't care what he said. This is what I believe, and this is what's gonna happen." I'm like, "Alright, go ahead with y'all magical fairy dust. Do what y'all need to do."
And the thing is, I don't like people telling me that, like, because I be like, "That's not what I'm trying to do, though." But then I think about it after I got out of it, like,
Okay.
"Yeah, you trying to do that, sis. You was." But, in the in time and then when I be in it, they be like the guys sometimes call me on it, like, "You're just trying to get me to." "No, I'm not trying to get you to do nothing. This is just me."
I understand though, it's not even about this, but the way we've had this talk about you not reacting out of, like, being told what to do, because that leaves us in trouble. That leaves us in trouble. Usually, you have had very good, "Hey, don't do this" moments that was not out of anything but love. But we gotta rebel. We gotta prove a point,
But the
regardless
thing
of all the consequences after.
Yeah, lots of them. It's lots of them. But yeah, I say as I say, like it's as if the lady or the man say that they can't do it, you gotta listen. Don't torture yourself.
Not
Don't be like me. Learn from people that tell you things instead of learning from the real. So that's the Nique fact for the day. Okay.
And here's the thing though. So like, okay, let's say we do recognize like, okay, I looked at this. I do have the personality to make this work. They have the personality. We both on the same page. Here's the truth. There are some like hard parts with it that even when you guys are both on the same page, even if you guys are both independent, if you both like people who are like, yo, I just need communication, there can still be hard parts dating, but there are so many like great things make it easier to long distance date right now. They are like, for example, me, you were talking about this earlier, like Frontier got the Go Wild Pass for $3.99,
Mhm.
$400, a Delta ticket flight, the price of a Delta ticket. And you can pretty much fly for like $10 every time you got to go after that big initial payment.
Mhm.
Now, you do have to go Frontier. That is a thing. But as to say, like, there's things that used to be in the way aren't in the way. They have toys now. Do you know this? They have toys now because intimacy is still a part of it. You're
Yeah.
like, hey, I don't want to wait every 3 months. But they have toys now where one person has the
Control.
toy and one person has like an app where you can control the toy. And that's
Mhm.
still a way to like practice intimacy and like control whatever sexual desires and needs y'all have until the next time y'all see each other. There are all sorts of things in place.
Mhm.
Even now, you got the button. Is that Netflix or is it Hulu? There's one of the subscription channels has a button where you can click watch together and they sync up your stuff so y'all can actually like watch a movie together.
Oh,
Me and
that's
this one,
cute.
yeah, me and this one person I used to date, used to do that all the time. Me and him used to have movie night where we would both of us put our kids away, wait till they went to sleep, and we would go get our own wine. He would get his beer, whatever. We would have pizza night. So he sent me a pizza, he got him a pizza, and we like did whatever the thing was, synced our stuff up, and we watched a movie together. Like, and stayed on the phone the whole time, like we were sitting next to each other and like talked through it and everything. We actually used to have a regular movie night. So like there is ways around it. It's not like, oh, and then you just have to be long suffering. There's things you can do to make long distance still work.
I have seen on TikTok before when they did like their little date night and they like go to the same restaurant in different cities and then they put up their phones and they talk. Yes. Yes, to have, like, little date night, and then, like, he'll send the money to pay for it, whatever, whatever, but I think those are, like, just little cute ideas to
Yeah.
keep it spicy or to keep it going until the next time that you have seen each other. I did that 'cause, I'm always on long distance, so this was around COVID, like, we just had, like, a dinner night after I put my daughter to sleep, like and I actually dressed up for this too, to have it in my house, but he sent me some food whatever I wanted to. We had our time, and then we were like talking and eating our dinner. And I stood up and I was all like cute. So it's like little ways you can keep it going.
I remember during COVID, there was a guy I dated during while we were still in lockdown. And one of the things that we used to do is like we would spend our work day together. We would get on FaceTime and I would be typing up notes. He would be yelling at people in meetings, just put me on mute real quick. And I'll just look over and look at him. He's so mean and demanding. And then I'll go back to typing my notes. And like same thing, like, and we literally like had I don't know if I can't remember if it was officially a day we had, but I know it will be at least once or twice a week where we would have a day where we would just bring our phone everywhere, talking to
Mhm.
each other, walking around the house, doing our notes together, reading up. He did something with like technology and whatever, whatever. And so like, yeah, he would be like, hold on, I'm on a Zoom meeting and mute me. You remember? Yeah. Put me on
Like
a
that too.
and then would just be there and like again, like would be I remember one time he had to go in a real meeting. So I'm thinking like he's about to hang up. And I'm like, all right, I'll just see you at the real meeting. This man put up his laptop, put his phone, his laptop like this. He's in this board meeting with like 13 other people. But there's ways to still feel like, okay, it's not like, oh, I'm just waiting for a text. I'm just waiting for a call,
Mhm.
miss your face. Yeah, not all the physical stuff is there, but there's ways to still feel connected. And I feel like now is a time where it's easier than ever.
Yes, yeah. I used to do that too with the guy that I used to long distance date, just like talk all day, like while I'm doing my notes. Unless I have a meeting, I'll say I'll call you back. Unless he had a meeting, he's calling back. But we're just doing what we need to do in a minute. He will have me on pause and call and doing his work calls on his other phone. But when you do your little flirting and then y'all little talk and then you get in the car, it was cute for real. It was cute. I mean, I dated a cop too. That was something else. He was long distance too, like to talk to him until he had to go do what he had to do. So it's like it would work. It can work if you wanted to, I think.
For sure.
Both parties have to be willing though. Yeah.
There's just so many ways around it. Even with like, what if we look very, very far and like flights just isn't affordable? Or what if our driving distance is kind of far? I don't really do the flying thing. Y'all can meet in the middle.
Mhm.
Like when sometimes me and Nick do that. Sometimes it's like, girl,
Mhm.
I miss you, but like I ain't driving the 7.5 hours. I'm like, okay, let's meet in Tennessee.
Yeah. Yeah.
We are good for meeting in Tennessee.
Mhm. I
You
had met in Tennessee too. Met a guy in Tennessee, met him in Louisville.
not like our men. How about you and your roster? Uh
Oh my goodness. That's like, like people can say
yeah.
I dated all these people in one city, but I just don't do that. So I have to be flexible.
Look, look. Shoot, y'all get a whole new favorite city. Meet in the
Yes.
middle. Get an Airbnb. Playhouse. Don't playhouse.
Don't do it. Don't do it. Reconsider.
But there's ways. There's so many ways around it where I think before it can feel like, so we just texting and being on the phone all the time. Like, no, there's so many other ways y'all can keep it alive where it can feel like it can feel close to like they're actually being here.
Mhm. Mhm.
Now, here's the hard truth though. Sometimes it's just not meant to be. There's some situations it just doesn't work for. Sometimes you meet somebody who's like super incredible, but they are not compatible with your relational bandwidth. That does not mean something's wrong with you or you failed or they were a lesson, the universe is cruel. It can just mean that y'all both had to honor yourselves enough not to force a dynamic that your body could not sustain. So it is okay though. Even after all of this, you're like, oh, but there's something here missing that I'm not sure I can do without. That is okay. It is not for everyone. But it is to say for my girlies, for my guys that are like, I already dated the whole city, or they don't even got my type of people here. Or you're just like, I don't know, I've been trying to date here and nothing is working. Maybe open yourself up to long distance dating to find somebody outside of 10 minutes from your house.
Mhm. So basically closing. Long distance dating is not just about distance. It's about intention, communication, and honesty with yourself. So if you're struggling to find love where you are in this moment, and it may not be because you are broken, it may be because your life is bigger than your zip code, period. Point blank. Like the little kitty say with the fingers. And if you find that long distance is not for you, that is wisdom, not a weakness.
For sure. Choose a love that will allow you to expand your life, not a love that requires you to betray your nervous system. So, if it feels like this is something that your nervous system disagree with, that is perfectly okay. But if you find that, yeah, no, that actually feels like something I would feel good in, that feels like something I can do and tolerate, that feels like something that doesn't dysregulate me. We're just saying, we hope you give it a consideration, possibly go out there and give it a try. So that's all we have for today's episode. We appreciate you guys for listening. Make sure to follow us on Instagram at She Wolf Alchemy. Leave us a review wherever you listen. Leave us a review with a couple of words, and you will hear the sound of our voice next Sunday. Bye.
Bye.